Ladies and gentlemen, well, did we expect that we would lose? Maybe there was a chance. Did we expect this? Tough, man. Tough. Tonight's going to be an opportunity to vent. Tonight's going to be an opportunity to cry about how awful it was. But after tonight, it's pretty simple. We just go again. As bad as it all is, the reality is the power is in our hands to retain top 4 spot against Adelaide. Is it going to be tough? Yes, but yeah, tonight's an opportunity to simply just talk about what we saw. I don't know how we're going to don't know how we're going to break this down because there was so much that went wrong. And sometimes there's no use beating a dead horse, but I understand that there's going to be people who want to have their word and say what they need to say. So there's the link in the chat if you want to jump in and jump on the show. Going to Adelaide, what bothers me is the reality of going to Adelaide without Jeremy Howe coming off the back of a 70-point loss against the Hawks. Benny.
Hey, brother.
Hey, Benny, you there?
Yeah, mate. Can you hear me?
It's a little bit foggy.
Yeah, I cracked the switch. I've gone for a walk.
I can't hear you, Benny. I don't know what's going on. Benny, I'll let you sort that out. Just stick around in the backstage. I'll get you on after. Manny, say what you got to say, but just be mindful of kids might be watching. Yeah, but say what you got to say, bro.
What are you doing there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, echoing, bro. Echoing. Reset it, bro. Reset it.
Yeah. Sorry. Shouldn't be echoing on StreamYard, but all right, give me a sec.
Reset it.
Ella. What do you reckon?
Yeah, you're echoing. You're delaying. It's not working properly.
It should be. Guys, can you hear me loud and clear? All right, 1 second. Manny, I'm going to try someone else in the stage. 1 second. Kynan, how are we? Are we all right?
Yeah. There is no words. there is no fucking words to describe what I witnessed. I witnessed a murder, an actual fucking murder. Oh, if I don't laugh, I'm gonna cry, bro. Like what did I watch? I was at work, bro, and the last few games I've at least watched the whole thing. Tonight I just was like, I physically turned change the TV. No, I wasn't even having it in the venue. That was, oh, mate. There's just how the far do we go from the top one side playing some of the best footy I've seen us play to this? Less than 40 tackles the whole game. Less than 50 points the whole game. It doesn't make sense. How? Do you know? Can you give us an answer, Anthony?
I just had a bad feeling as I saw Jeremy Howe go out. Just had a bad feeling, man. I'll be honest.
Darcy Moore is a liability at this point. I know we weren't ready for the conversation.
Did you mute yourself just then? I can't hear.
We good now?
Yeah. All good, all good.
No?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, I know he's our captain, but mate, it gets to a point where he's performed bad in every single game for 6 weeks straight.
What do you do? What do you do, man?
Mate, you drop him. Yeah, you drop him. You send the message.
You can't. I understand in another world, if we had a Tom Barris or a Harris Andrews waiting in the back, I'd pull the trigger, but I'd even put like it's funny because 12 months ago to the date when we played Hawthorn, after in the post game we can go back to it. I remember saying like we got to put Darcy Moore somewhere else and it can't be in the back line. But we're so far into this quest where we're at right now, we can't make drastic changes. I agree with you, man. Something needs to happen, and I'd like to know what the chat thinks. Like, what do we do with Darcy Moore? But other than persevere, what else can you do?
There's
What do you do
you
again?
need to have him
He was
playing a
worse than
centre.
Darcy Moore. What do you do with
Exactly.
Houston?
Yeah, mate, we need to put a bolo on him. He's gone missing. $500,000 reward. But where's the Dan Houston that played for Port? Where's he gone? I get Lockie Schultz had a bad year when he first came, but Lockie Schultz was never an All-Australian backman.
This is bad. This is
It
bad.
doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, bro. Oh my god. You are an All-Australian backman, and you're averaging less than 10 disposals a game.
Give me a sec. So what have we got here? Hold on. Joycey, keep faith, legends, Big Bo and Bobby Magic to come. Win the next two. Look, thanks for the $7.99, Joycey. How do we put the positive spin on this for the optimist in the crowd? There's a lot of negativity that's going to come out of this, and I encourage those who are listening right now, mute your AFL app, mute AFL on Instagram, mute Kane Corns, mute Fox Footy. It's going to be a massacre.
It's going to be a shit show. It's going to be a shit show. Absolutely.
Be ready for it. Be ready for it. The statements of all statements will be coming out. Look, we're gonna vent tonight. I've accepted that. That's what the post game show is for, to celebrate, vent, and everything else. It is what it is. That when you lose like that, that's what happens.
One positive I can give is Lockie Schultz. Man, what he's become at the Collingwood Footy Club is nothing short of a miracle.
Yeah, he's been great.
After that first year he had, I was like, fuck, did we make a mistake getting him? I still had faith in him, though. This year, that faith has turned into rewards with what he's done.
Yeah.
And that's really it. Yeah.
If we look at the history of what we've seen in last, there's a couple ways this can go, guys. On the way home on a train, I thought about 3 ways that this could possibly pan out. 4 ways, okay? This is 2023 to a whole new level in the last part of the season, which is leading into the final series. That's option 1. That's a possibility. Option 2 is we stumble into finals like Carlton last year, who were on basically, well, I think they were like 11-2 at some point last year. That's a possibility. Number 3 is an eerily similar position as last year. We just have this 3 or 4 stinkers where we are dog shit, but then we come good in these last 2 rounds. Last year we fell short of finals. If we need to win games now. We need to win against Adelaide to take some sort of momentum into the finals. Was that option 3 or 4? And then there's the
Right.
Geelong. There's the Geelong of last year, which is option 4. The Geelong of last year started well, had a big dip, but they sort of percolated at the right time. We should already be humming. We should be humming. The humming should have started this week or last week.
Management has fucked us, Anthony. Nick Dacos spending the
As being
first
too good
8
too early fucked us.
minutes, being 8 minutes on the bench for the first quarter is it's cooked. It's beyond a joke. Why is your best player starting on the bench? Make it make sense.
All right, Guinan, I'm gonna keep it rolling, man.
Yeah, nah, you're good. But jeez, man. Oh, a lot to think about. Lot to think about.
See you next week.
Go Pies.
Manny, have you sorted yourself out?
Yeah, matey.
All right.
Don't worry, I've already exploded, bro. I've already exploded. Relax today. Take it easy. I've already exploded today. Don't worry about it.
All right.
What you say positive about today? What you say positive about today? Is this Os kick or is this the AFL Premiership season today? What's this nonchalant today? We're playing like shit today. Can't you see what's going on out there? Come on, eh? We're Collingwood supporters or what, bro? We're playing like fucking bottom 4 fucking football club. Show a bit of pride today. The Long and the Mitchell experiment's finished. It's done. Get them both out of there. Take them both out of there. We're too slow. Bring in Allen and bring in Still. Bring in 2 kids. Get runners in there. Just flood runners in there. Just change it all up now. Get them both out of there.
How was Tom Mitchell on TV? Was he bad? How was he against Ned Long? Look, the whole team was garbage.
It was like
outside of
watching
maybe Perryman and Quaynor, but how were they on TV?
Mitchell was all right with a handball, but what he's doing with the handball is costing us with his leg speed. There was a couple of occasions where he was on the half back line, and it was like you're watching a 100-meter sprint. You know, when you see a sprinter and he leaves the other bloke behind, you could just see him sprinting. They're all sprinting through the middle, and we couldn't keep up with him. That's why we couldn't tackle him. We couldn't tackle him because we're too slow. We couldn't get onto the player. We couldn't grab him in a tackle there. We're too slow. They're handballing the ball around like it was ring a rosy there. Too slow there. I'm getting rid of both of them. I'm taking them both out. Bring the kids in. Bring Allen and bring Roland Still in. Get 2 good runners in and bring them in. Darcy Moore there, the best assist of the season. Darcy Moore there, the best assist of the season. A tap straight down Watson's throat. First 2 minutes.
That's our
open
captain,
goals
man.
were there.
It's our captain,
Huh?
bro.
Did you see it? Did you see it?
It's our captain. I saw it, man. I saw it.
Don't worry, I've already exploded today. Don't worry, there. You got me on a good time. It's good that mix starts first. I've lost the plot before there. I was on there losing the plot before. I've calmed down now. We've got to get it done today. We can't beat Adelaide like this. We're not the boys are not connected today. You can see it from a mile away. It's been 12 weeks today. We look lost out there, bro. We look fucking lost, mate. It's painful to watch today.
No connection. There's no connection.
It's painful to watch today. I was going to turn the TV off at half time, and I couldn't watch it anymore. I had, when you sit on your couch and you put the doona, and you're watching a horror movie, and you put the doona on your eyes, and you try not to see. That's what I was doing. I was peeking. Over the doona. There was a fucking car crash.
Am I old school am I too old school in thinking Dan Houston does the same thing 3 or 4 times where he turns over the ball and we concede directly from it. We all get to him and we give him high fives and we give him lollies and all that sort of stuff. But then at what point do they just start kissing each other's asses? Is anyone out there?
Not Houston's fault, bro.
Are we gonna have a stern word? Is someone gonna have a stern word?
No.
Like, can we show some emotion, some anger?
No, not Houston's fault, my friend.
Composed anger. Like, you don't have to.
It's not Houston's fault, my friend. It's not Houston's fault. You know why? Because I urge you to watch the first quarter and watch Houston in action. The first quarter, Houston was playing great. You know what happened?
Bro, he turned it
Darcy,
over like 3 or 4 times
yeah,
in the first quarter, man.
yeah,
What are you
but
smoking?
he's still getting the ball, bro. He was still getting the ball, bro, until Darcy Moore broke down. Once Darcy Moore broke down there, our defenders were scrambling again. We were scrambling like we were sinking. It was a sinking ship again, bro. He's defending too deep there. All our defenders are defending too deep there. We're breaking down. Even Frampton played like shit, but Frampton just got back in the side. Darcy Moore's giving up marks on the goal line there against Meek. Punch the ball over the line, bro. Put your body through him. Get him over the line so he juggles it over the line, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but why is DC on the mark there in the first place anyways? Why isn't somebody like I'm not gonna criticize DC, like he's unbelievable, but
DC's
yeah,
trying
in
to
that
intercept.
moment, why is he
DC's trying to intercept.
the man on the mark there?
Because DC's trying to intercept on the half back line. He's trying to intercept the ball. Shadir takes a mark on his head there, and then you got Meek in the goal square, but you got Darcy Moore there to cover. He's a key defender. That's what happened.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I guess we're gonna see McStay just has to be in the back line next week. Simple as.
He's not doing nothing down there. He's not doing nothing down there. What's he doing?
What are you going? What are you? What's the alternative? You want to bring Charlie Dean in?
No, you put my chick down there now. McStay's not doing the job. Put someone else down there.
Come on, bro. How many tweaks can we possibly make going into the final series? We've got to be smart. We've got to mitigate risk with the amount of changes we make.
Yeah, but we need a forward to bring the ball down there. It might be time for Cox, man. The ball's not coming down in the forward 50, bro. The only thing I'm holding my hat on is that we're getting Bo and Bobby back next week, and we're getting speed into the team. That's the only thing I'm holding my hat on. Apart from that, we've got dramas.
Let me read out these donations. Manny, 1 second. Benny, thanks for the 10, brother. Sorry for the audio. I'm walking out with AirPods. Needed to walk that disappointment off. Hey, man, I feel you. Got an idea about it all. We'll share my thoughts if we're still going when home. Yeah, jump on, mate, and happy to hear you, man. I've got Benny's been kind enough to donate the tickets. Or I went with him last week and this week. 0-2 donuts with Benny's tickets, but that's okay. Teresa, thanks for the 5. I appreciate you. This is more than management. Something is rotten. Keep checkers. Anyone else who wants to go though, let them. Bang. Let's not throw the baby out the bathwater. There's a lot going wrong. And all right, let me ask you a question, Manny. Yeah? Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. And this is a question for you too, chat. I want you to, I'll keep an eye on. This time last year, we have 4 shockers against Gold Coast, Hawthorn, Essendon, and Geelong. Probably like bottom 2 type of performances the way we were going in those games. And then we come back, we beat Richmond. I think we beat Carlton. We should have beat Sydney. We beat Brisbane, who ended up going to win the flag, and we pumped Melbourne. Yes, there were more games to string together in that period, and this time we only have 2. But why can't? Are we being delusional for hoping that we can get that type of turnaround like last year?
Bro, we've lost 5 games there, apart from Richmond there. Why is it taking us so long to turn it around? It should have been turned around 2 weeks ago there. They understand. That's what I'm trying to say to you. We should have turned it around, but it's getting worse. It's getting worse today. What I'm trying to say is getting worse. If you look at the score lines from the Fremantle game, it was 1 point, then it was a bit less, and now teams are kicking 100 points on us. The last 2 weeks we've had 100 points kicked on us. So our defense is breaking down. We're getting worse than what we were before. We're getting worse now than what we were. And for us to turn it around, against Adelaide in Adelaide, it's going to be the coaching performance of the decade for us to beat them next week.
We just got to soldier up again, though, right? We're not just going to fold and bend over as fans, are we? True.
We've got no choice. We will not stop until the season is done, finals and everything else. We will not stop. But we've got a problem, man. That's what is bothering me, because we're up. We're on top of the ladder there, 10 points. We've got a problem, and the coaches have to fix it as soon as possible. If it doesn't get fixed, we're going to finish 5th. And at this point of time, we haven't got the power. we haven't got the power or the football acumen to win the flag from 5th position. I can't see us doing it like a Brisbane. Well, you think at the game there, you must have been losing it up.
No, it was the it was pretty numb. What was it? Half time. There was a little bit of optimism. 39 points. Lipinski misses that shot. Once they got that first goal in the third quarter, it was like, all right, well, the game's over, but we'll just stick around and see it out. I just figured, well, what's the point in leaving, man? Like, they didn't show up today, but like they've shown up for. I just don't believe in leaving early.
It was a look in the crowd. The Collingwood supporters. I was watching him. There was a look in the crowd like we've got problems. Like everyone knew that. Yeah, there's something going on. We've got problems. So Sonny's
well, bro. Killer.
Yeah, I know
Killer
it, but
against the
I know it, but
true.
I know it, but there's recency bias there. We've seen it for the last 5 weeks there. We haven't been playing proper football. We've seen it for 5 weeks now. Come on, apart from Richmond, we've seen it now. It's not a one-off.
No.
If it was a one-off, inductee, but we've seen it now. It's become a pattern. It's become a pattern now. We've got problems.
2 really bad games. Yeah.
Mitchell Long. I think the experiment's finished. What? I think we need to stop talking about it now.
It's a costly look. At the end of the day, we probably can't reduce the loss to those 2 players. It was just all in all, it's the worst game we've had since Hawthorn last year.
What a loss there. Absolute depressing scenes tonight, mate. Absolute depressing scenes. Oh, well, we've got to reload now, mate. Top 2's out of the question now. So top 4. Now we're aiming for top 4. They're about top 2, top 4 now.
Just go again, bro. What else?
All
Do
right,
you do to gear up?
Get the others on, bro. We've already lost it already on chronological. What a weekend there. Thursday night loss. What a weekend.
Yes, mate.
Yes, mate. Lift it a little bit.
Come on. Absy.
Hey, how you going, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. What I wanted to talk to you about was Jared Wade. Basically, what's the point of it? What's the point of all this managing and resting and loading and whatever when it's not paying off and doesn't look like it's going to be paying off unless we pull off a miracle in the next couple of weeks?
It's a good question to put forward in review.
We've just been flat for about a whole month now. It's not just our backline. Like, I knew we were stuffed when Howe got knocked out because I think he's our most important player. But even if he didn't get knocked out, I don't think we would have won. I mean, I don't know.
Is the biggest issue from the season the fact we just peaked way too early and we didn't have enough motivation to like there's probably probably like a 6-week period where there wasn't really much fire or anything for the team to fight for. And then when it got to the point where it's like, all right, this is where we're at, this is our record. Now we've got to string together some games. Unfortunately, but when that time came around, the other teams who were coming up against us had our name on their hit list, and we probably weren't ready for that going into Gold Coast. Fremantle, we probably maybe there's a part of it where we say we didn't want it enough in the end, and then Brisbane outplayed. Effort was okay tonight. Outplayed. Effort was non-existent, and then just trying to. I think there was a big early in games. I understand it's more of a team thing, but early in the games, Absy, I feel like individual moments can have a strong imprint on how
Yeah.
the game pans out. And when you make critical mistakes, when we had a bit of ascendancy in the first quarter, I don't know how it looked like on TV, Absy, but in the first quarter, we probably doubled their inside 50s, if I'm not mistaken, but
Yeah.
we just
Yeah.
couldn't connect.
I agree. But that's the thing. Like, you can't blame that on the back line because that's what everyone keeps doing. It's just all I keep hearing is backline, 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 backline. And it's like, well, it's not the backline's fault that our midfield's getting smashed. And it's not the backline's fault that our forwards can't seem to take a mark anymore. You know, how many marks do we drop, you know, and miss easy shots, you know, like Lipinski, he could have kicked that goal, I think it was start of the third quarter, you know, and could have
Yeah.
got us going again, but he missed it.
Yeah.
And then they go kick a goal, and then it's like, oh, well,
Here's the
you
thing,
know?
bro. Absy, here's the thing, bro. Like, I understand that, and kicking goals alleviates pressure. Winning the contest and setting up our forward half and applying pressure in our forward 50 alleviates everything else behind the ball. But when the problem for Collingwood is when things go bad, we haven't had the cattle in the back line to stand up since. I know we keep bringing this guy up, but it's just so real. That's not having Nathan Murphy. Like, if we could look, Absy, go back, watch the every goal we conceded, and yes, we may have lost the center clearance, we may have conceded territory, but also watch the individual blunders that our players are making in the back half. Critical players. Billy Frampton, okay, he's been injured. He's maybe his confidence isn't the same. The team's playing differently, but just players like Darcy Moore and Dan Houston just making schoolboy mistakes that just kill you. It kills your momentum, bro, or anything you're trying to build.
Yeah. And and the further Hawthorn got in front, what I noticed was, because I was at the game, what I noticed was we started then trying to take risks and trying to like just go for kicks that just weren't. Houston went for a couple, just the kicks that just weren't there. You know, like I get it, you got to take the game on, but it's just like if the kick's not there, you can't. Like, don't go for it. If it's just going to get turned over and go sailing over your head, you know, go something a bit safer. Yeah, Houston. I think it was in the third quarter a couple of times. Gave the ball straight to Hawthorn, you know. And yeah, goes back to what you said. It's just those individual mistakes can cost the team dearly. And yeah, a lot of it did come from our back line, actually. Yeah, you're not wrong. Yeah, but yeah, we're definitely flat though. It's bizarre. Like, yeah, you know, like coming out, like think about it. The first half of that Gold Coast game, it's like we didn't even come to play, and then that last 15 minutes of that Freo game. And I wasn't too worried after those two games, but I was worried after the Brisbane game. So I thought we played pretty poorly. And after this game, yeah, I don't know if we can stop the bleeding now. It's got to that point.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Like, if we lose by a couple goals tonight, you go, all right, let's just regather. Let's go to Adelaide. Let's go to our second home ground and let's take it up to the premiership fancies. It's hard, bro. It's hard to fake confidence and form going into after conceding a 70-point loss at the G. The other thing is, we wanted to see a little bit more dare from the Pies tonight, and in the first half, there were moments where we tried it. And it was, it's funny. This is how, like footy is funny, right? So we go from lacking any element of dare last week for about 4 quarters of the game, even in that last quarter when we needed to go. And then we get the message this week. You're going to see us take the game on. For the first time in weeks, maybe months, I'm seeing Collingwood, instead of going long down the line, they go long into the corridor. That was something we did a lot last year. Instead of taking the boundary, we're going for the short kicks inside the corridor. But guess what? Does that not become predictable? the lead into the game, seeing what Collingwood are doing with their first few set plays and kicks. That's also predictable, and it's chess. That's probably the chess side of it that we lost. Hawthorn was so ready for us to try and attack the corridor, to try kick it long, but to the point of the center square, the corner of the center square, they were ready for that. No.
Yeah. It seems like everyone's ready for us this last month. Seems like
Bro,
everyone's just like,
yeah.
it's crazy. Everyone knows exactly how to beat us now, and it's just like, get in line, everyone. Let's beat this team. It's bizarre. I don't get it. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't get how, like, I don't get how we beat Fremantle at their home ground with like half a team, but yet we couldn't beat them at the G. And it's like, yeah, we had some players out, but we had way more players out when we played them the first time. So there's just something's just off with this team now. It's just something really, I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on it. That's why I brought up Jared Wade earlier, because I think it may have something to do with that loading, whatever they call it. What is it? Management loading? I don't know.
The conditioning block, or like the top up, or the
Yeah. Loading, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
I just find that because we did the same thing happened in 23, and we finished that season off a bit flat. And even in the finals that year, even though we won the grand final, like I don't think we weren't really playing our best even in the finals. Like we were only just getting over the line in the games. Think about it. So, I don't know, man.
Some of those games were anomalies. The Melbourne game.
Yeah. That Melbourne game, I don't know if you remember it. I mean, they just we all we did was park the bus and just like in that last quarter, and they were just like, we were just lucky they couldn't hit a target in the inside forward 50. I think they had like tons of it. Yeah. Anyway, I won't go back that far, but yeah, like I'm just saying, like we weren't like it's easy to gloss over it because we won the premiership, but if you really look at the way we played, grand final, I thought we played well, but the qualifying final and prelim final, I don't think we were like invincible or anything. So I don't know. I'm not confident anymore. I was very confident a month ago, and then even after the Gold Coast and Freo game, I was like, oh yeah, we should be right. But now I'm just like, I don't know where we're going to go from here. Very negative, I know, but
that's what we're here for tonight, though, man. Like we do have to vent. We do have to vent tomorrow. I mean, you know what sucks? What sucks more than anything is we have to wait 8 days, 9 days before we get a chance for vindication. That hurts.
Oh yeah, and we're gonna be copping it from every direction. I don't even go to that. That was Dan Gorringe, that dickhead, whatever his name is. I don't even go to his channel anymore. He's just a wanker. Can't stand him. Yeah, he'll be happy, and I think a lot of people are going to be happy. I guess
Australia will be happy, man.
Australia will be happy. Australia will be happy. It's funny. It's funny how quiet. It's funny how quiet everyone is when we're winning, and then all of a sudden, as soon as we start losing, all of a sudden everyone's fucking talking shit.
That's the way it is, man. That's the way it is, bro. Always has been, always will be. Don't ever be surprised. That's the way it's gonna go.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, mate.
Abzi, thanks for jumping on, mate.
All right, mate. No worries. Thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
See ya. Bye.
Matthew, just quickly, I'm trying to add the names to the, but I think I'll have to do it next stream. It won't let me do it in this one, Matthew.
All good. Mate, that was absolutely pathetic today. And I'm seeing the theme and on Mick's chat earlier, just listening to his stream, is that you hear me okay?
Yeah, just the names just popped up now. Sorry.
Nice. So the theme is we're not quite right. We're a bit off. Well, I wonder why that could be. It's just a mystery. Like 6 weeks ago, Fly came out publicly and said, well done, Collingwood. We've qualified for finals. 14 wins, we've qualified. Do we need to give the opposition, our competition, any more of a fire up than saying something like that? The list goes on. Resting players, arrogance, pure arrogance, resting players. Going out, there's nothing wrong. I don't mind honesty. I don't mind someone says to Fly, did you meet with Steve, what's his name? Jack Silvani. Did you meet with Jack Silvani? Yeah. I did, but I want to talk about the game next week. Is that an honest response? Or do you go, yeah, we're going to have a second date. He's a PR consultant, this man. Please. And could it be a fact that your captain, the captain of your side, is the worst player in the team?
He's playing one of the worst.
By far the worst captain in AFL. He is the worst captain in any level of football, in watching and being involved in lower levels and watching higher levels of football I've ever seen. Disgraceful. Now, we can't drop him because he's the captain. Someone, I'm not sure who mentioned it, maybe it was Manny. They've done it before, but in this day and age, in this woke PR universe that we're in, they're not going to drop him. They're not. But what level? Could he lie down naked in the goal square and just let his opponent kick 5 goals in 5 minutes and still not get dropped? Probably he still wouldn't get dropped. You know? And
problem is that with like Darcy Moore, you probably, the only thing holding me, if I was the coach, and not saying I have the ability to, but I'm just saying, if I could drop Darcy Moore right now, I just don't think I could, because we don't have, like, what do we do? Bring in Charlie Dean, you know?
Yeah, well, it's too late to drop him now.
Yeah.
Not that they're going to, but swap him. What try something. You know, you were saying earlier, it's too late to try things now. No, we've got to try things, because the way it is right now, we're going to lose the next 2 games, and best case scenario, we get smacked in the first final. So we need to drop some players. If Moore's not going to get dropped, which he's not, swap him with someone. Swap him with a Membry. Swap him with a Mindcheck. Get him the hell out of the back line if he's not going to be dropped. Same with Houston. He's a liability down there as well. Get him out of the – if he's not going to get dropped, which he should be, but he won't because of politics, because the HR department will overrule the selection period. Oh, no, we can't drop him. It'll make us look bad. Get him out of the back line. Try something, because we need to try something, or we're going to lose our next 2 games. It's still possible for us to lose to miss out on finals. It's still possible. So this is not like we've got a settled team. Okay, we had a bad loss. We lost by 5 points. Let's stick with it. We were dreadful tonight. So I think the only way we can win one of the next 2, and that would be a good result. If we win 1 out of the next 2, that would be a good result. We need to try things. Drop a couple of players. Bring Allen in. Bring in Steen, a young player like Manny said. Try something. Get some enthusiasm going. Hopefully McCreary and Hill come back in. We're missing them. But, geez, that was dreadful tonight. We're 10 goals down, and you've got Sly Fly, Mr. PR management, laughing on the bench. Disgusting. Absolutely disgraceful. It was Steel Side Bottoms, 350th game today. Are you kidding me? What is going on with these players? I don't mind losing by 3 goals or even 5 goals if we had a crack, but that's just not. It's not good enough to just not cry, to not try, not have a crack. What is going on? It seems like they weren't playing for steal. They weren't playing for the jumper tonight. And this game, losing it, cost us top 2. We're probably going to miss top 4. And at best, we're going to be playing in an elimination final. Over to you. There's a rant.
That's what we're here for, man. We used tonight to do that. All right. So there's 2 ways, yeah. There's 2 ways to go about this. If we go 6 weeks back, maybe I'm considering dropping Darcy Moore or moving him forward. Or 12 months ago, where I had this exact same reaction to the Hawthorn game last year. Dan Houston can certainly be tried on the wing, but I don't think he even tried. He didn't even get tried or deployed on the wing tonight. I think, mate, there's just real. I don't agree that we should be making 3 or 4, 5 wholesale changes. Like we should be steadying the ship going into the finals now. Whether it's the Ants, the right one, I think it's just too much risk to keep experimenting outside of a Dan Houston going to a wing. I don't think Tim Membry or Myercheck should be moved to the back line. I mean, Tim Membry has rarely ever played in the back. Myercheck played when he was in the VFL. He hasn't been there since, so that's a risk. Darcy Moore's not doing much better. I understand. I respect that. I just think, I guess I'm more of the side of things are fucked at the moment, but we just have to hope, not trust, hope that these players can get it right. Whereas you're on the side of, no, like let's not sit on our hands and hope that these guys get better. Let's bring the kids in, but I just don't think these kids are good enough.
We need to take action. Okay, Darcy Moore aside, he's not going to get dropped. And you made a good point. We don't have the defenders. Okay, that's not going to happen. But we need to take action, and we need to take it now. Because would you agree we needed to try more things tonight? To try some different things. Like it just
like
just got away from it so quickly. I don't know, something.
I feel like they tried to change up their game plan, but they almost fell into the arms of Hawthorn with the way we changed our game plan. They read the corridor. It became too predictable. It was the complete polar opposite of what we've been doing the last few weeks, and we wanted change, but there was no balance in that. And then in the end, mate, like, fuck, what were the midfield numbers? We got butchered out of the middle against against an average midfield side without Will Day.
We got smacked, but there needs to be, it's late in the season. We're a 90% chance we're going to make finals. We're going to limp over the line, but I believe we've got nothing to lose by sending a message to say to the club, we did this whole song and dance. We made finals. We've qualified for finals. Hey, yeah, we're so cool. Look at us. Hello. Right? That was fucking stupid. Right? We need to take action now and just send a message. We only had one player in the top 12 rated players tonight. And we had like 12 of the bottom, 20. So some of them need to get sent a message. There needs to be some people getting dropped. Because we need to do something, or we are going to get beaten.
Well, I'll
by
tell you something
points.
for free. Ned Long, Tom Mitchell, one of them will be dropped. I'll tell you that.
Probably long, because I thought Mitchell wasn't too bad, actually.
Wasn't horrible. Yeah. Yeah. McStay's going to have to play in the back line.
Yep. Give you that.
I mean, Lipinski wasn't great, but probably, again, another player. I mean, maybe, what do you think about... Here's the thing about, yes, there were some horrible, inexcusable individual performances, but the whole team was off. Outside of Quaynor, Perryman, it was the same thing, bro. Last week, Quaynor, Perryman, and Bruzzy stood up last week. Guess what? They did it again tonight.
Yeah, it was such an all-round poor performance. It would be hard to pick out 2 or 3 people to drop. But I would say Dan Houston, Will Hoskin Elliott, let's drop
Mm.
those guys because
Okay.
they have had enough chances. They've been consistently bad for a fairly decent period of time. Send a
I would
message.
I would entertain Rowan Steele, and I'd probably just I'd also consider Ed Allen. But what are we, Thursday? Fuck, man, 9 days till we get a chance to bounce back. Oh,
It's it's a long time to mull over it and stew over it. Well, you've got McCreary and Hill are coming back, so there's two people who've got to come out. Unless Hill, turns up before and says, "Oh, my dog ate my homework." He's running out of excuses.
part-time Bobby.
But I think Allen comes in. Allen, Hill, and McCreary comes in.
Mhm.
Definite
very
out
least.
is, well, Howe's compulsory out, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Hoskin Elliott, Houston out.
All right, we'll revisit that in a few days, Matthew. Thanks
Give
for
someone
jumping
else
on,
a go, mate. I've had my rant. Thank you.
I appreciate you, man. Take care.
Thanks, buddy.
Benny, how are we? Are we back home?
Hey, mate. Yeah, I got home safely.
You had to walk it off, or talk to me?
Yeah, well, had to walk off the disappointment and had to get my steps in, so do it in one go, eh?
Oh, mate. Where are we, Benny?
So yeah,
Where are we?
0 and 2, bro. What we got to fix this?
Well, I was saying to Chris on the way home, I go, look, Chris, at least it's an interstate game next week. Most of the time when I've watched it this season, I don't think we've lost a game watching at my family's house where my brother lives. That's the hope I'm hanging on to, because I'm going to have to create some new superstitions going into this game against Adelaide, because we need more than a few things to go right now. It was spot fires going into this game. Now it's a barn. The barn's on fire, mate.
Yeah. So I've got a couple of good points. One, let's start with a positive. Guinea didn't kick a goal.
Oh, don't mind that. Did he have a shot on goal? I don't even know if he had a shot on goal.
You got to pluck something out sometimes, don't you?
Okay.
So the scary thing, right? And the thought crossed my mind as I was watching today, and how much a reverse this was of earlier in the year. So yeah, the scary part. All our wins, looking at the snapshot of the season now that we've got, looking at our wins against quality earlier in the year, did we just play them at the right time?
Well,
You know, when
there is
Hawthorn
a
was definitely down.
reality in. Yep. Brisbane, we're down.
Yeah, Freo weren't doing anything interesting at the time, and we even rested a couple of blokes, but got them. Look, even Geelong, we got within a couple of points of them, but they lost to Carlton a few weeks earlier, so they were revved up, but obviously not a peak either.
Yeah.
So, it's scary to think that it's possible that we just played our best when everyone was playing at their worst, and they allowed us to play it that way in a way. Well, not allowed us deliberately, but we could do it. We could pull it off. We got away with it. And now everyone's sort of had a time to study it. They've all sort of peaked a bit more, and it's not working.
Yeah, we've hit a lull. We've entered a great abyss of I don't know where we're at. There's 2 games left. If there were 3 or 4 games left and we're here tonight, I'd be like, all right, we've got enough time. We've got enough runway to take off here into the finals. But the problem is, can you fake it going into with 2 games remaining before the final series? We're gonna have to try. We're gonna have to try find something. I mean, a win against Adelaide would be great, but the fact that we like you said, we beat Hawthorn by 50 points, we lose by 70 tonight. It's a 120 point turnaround. probably what was a 60-point turnaround or something like that last week against Brisbane when we versed them last time, and then when we versed them last week. Yeah.
That looks so
We've peaked
familiar.
early, and we haven't this whole like management and trying to rekindle the fire at the right time hasn't happened.
Yeah. And look, I'll touch on the loading thing too, because like I explained to you last week, I have got a little bit of insider on it. The loading should have finished by now in terms of the base strength building that they don't normally get to do mid-season, because it's all about recovery, all about recovery. I mean, they definitely did a little bit of a load. It was around about Queen's birthday when we had the bye, because even Darcy Moore even spoke about it openly. He said, "Oh, we're taking the chance because of this 12 days to get an extra strength session in." It's like, cool. I see what you're doing. But all that should be done by now, right? And now they focus, they've got the base strength up. We're talking gym here, not on the field. They should be now working on only their, those quick explosive things, which doesn't necessarily give you that soreness that you can carry into a game. You might be a bit flat nervous system wise, but it's all kind of done. And from here on, it is again that maintenance. Let's maintain this new little peak. And this is what Adelaide's been doing recently too. I saw a little video that they were talking about it, and their high performance manager, whose name is slipping my mind right now, Darren Burgess, I think, something like that.
Is he an assistant Burgess again in the AFL system? I know he's at Liverpool.
Yeah, I could be mixing it up, but they've already been through it and they've done it. So they're ready to rock and roll, and I've heard good things about them. They're peaking really good right now. As for the resting and the management, I mean, we don't know the extent of how much our guys needed it, and we just took the opportunity to do it. As frustrating as it is for us.
Does this period in time? I know it's only been probably. All right, let's just call it a period of 5 weeks where we've been pretty flat. More so the last 2 weeks, of course. But does this smell of that 4-week period we had last year?
Well, this patch we're much closer to full strength now than we were last year. I mean, the worst patch I think we had last year was the first 3 games. That to me felt like the worst part of the year. Unpreparedness. That partied a bit long, maybe didn't start pre-season with enough intensity early enough, and kind of paid the price a little bit. Had to learn to get that pressure back in season in a way. But look, and it does remind me of 2023, is that we've all been saying it. However, statistically, we've been doing okay until tonight compared to 23. 23 was actually worse, like losing to Carlton, the Hawks, and Brisbane. They were bad games. They weren't great. This year, it's been a lot closer statistically, at least. But after tonight, it's kind of blown it out a fair bit.
Yeah. Yep. Well said. It's tonight. Tonight took it to a space where I think we're all now genuinely concerned, and as we've been saying tonight, Benny, we'll wake up tomorrow. We'll soldier up and go again. I suppose go again. What else can we do? Win, lose, or draw? We just go again against Adelaide and see what happens.
Yeah, the time to support is now. When they're down, we've got to help lift them up. Positive into the community, positive talk about the Pies, because they know they sucked. They know they're feeling the worst. They're feeling way worse than us. We've got to back them up when they're down, so that we can celebrate when they're up. Yeah.
Well, anything else you gathered from watching the game on TV tonight, Benny?
Yeah, look, more of the same of last week. It was high pressure from the Hawks. They knew what they were doing. Silly little skill errors. Look, we were on the move a little bit better, but still the skill errors, like a classic one that stood out, Dan Houston, and this is not a blame on him because he had the right idea. It was a second quarter, I think. He kicked it across the 50 arc. The idea was great. He just stuffed up the kick. It went a little bit too high, a little bit too hospitally, and they cut it off. And I wanted to see him do more of that stuff. He just didn't quite have it, and it was, quite often tonight there was a lot of that. The idea was there, but you completely miss the point. Not just him. I mean, Crispy, I was telling the boys, Crispy missed an easy one to Nick Dacos while being tackled in the middle. He was 2 meters away from him, just had to get it to him, and it went 2 meters the wrong way. And I mean, it just stuffed up the whole play. So more of the same of last week, really. It's all fixable. Manny and I were saying they're just too slow at the minute, or at least look too slow, because we're either not getting into the right positions to cut them off, and then they cut through us with the angles, constantly going forward. And when we try to tackle, well, they've gotten away from us already. You know, the wall that was set up to intercept, it's past it, and so we're trying to catch up, and we can't. Haven't got the guys at the moment. Lockie Schutz was doing it all night. He was constantly popping up past the halfway mark, taking marks, chasing people down. But just some of our other blokes can't do it, you know. Even like DeGoey was trying hard too, and that's as an overall thing tonight. I didn't see a lack of effort. Mostly, they tried hard, they ran hard, they couldn't quite get there. A couple of lazy moments I did notice. One of the inside 50s to Hawthorn, don't know who kicked it, went over the top of a couple of players, and Chol marked it with a bit of a slide, but Billy was nowhere near him in the goal square. He was about 1.5 meters off him, should have had an arm across from the moment the ball was bounced. If you're on, they're the sort of things you're constantly practicing. And to me, that's a bit of an attitude thing, and maybe that's what Fly was seeing the last couple of weeks, that he just wasn't putting in those little things.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know if the VFL stretch did anything that worked against him. I know by history in the past, playing Frampton in the VFL when he's been representing an AFL with good form and probably his greatest form this year, he didn't look like the same player tonight. Are we putting any blame on Billy Frampton specifically? Definitely not. Were there some
result?
No. Were there some little moments where maybe he didn't apply strong enough defensive craft? Like Darcy Moore's the same. He always seems to be sagging a little bit off those centre bounces. Is there a way they can combat not getting beat off the mark, because they aren't the fastest off the mark? The things that kill me, Benny, watching tonight were things that I think it was in the third or fourth quarter. I saw Billy Frampton, I saw Darcy Moore, and I saw Dan McStay. All three players, three key defenders, all got for the same contest, and we all went down like bowling pins, and I'm pretty sure they scored from that. It was the embodiment of what we saw all night. No connection, no communication. What do? You try and erase this game. I don't even know how you review these types of games. You just almost have to hope. You just have to hope that next week against Adelaide, I know this sounds reductive and maybe too optimistic, but it's as simple as going into that game and just winning the moments early, get some scoreboard ascendancy, have something to celebrate. There was not, mate, I was being at the game tonight, Benny. Man, you don't understand how anxious and how short the fuse was around the grounds, especially in that first quarter. Any mistake was compounded by the reverberation of the Coliseum that is the MCG, that was filled with some Collingwood fans. It was quite surprised, obviously a Hawthorn home game, but a lot of frustration and just moaning around the grounds that just compounded the anxiety that definitely would have had a ripple effect onto the field. That was just there. That was, you can't stop that, can you? The only way you can stop that angst around the crowd is to win the moments and get ascendancy and celebrate that.
Yeah, small steps that build up into that. And I said it last week, the crowd was so flat, and that is, an extrapolation of that we've played bad. Or not bad, but we haven't got those wins that we thought we'd get. So the crowd does get a little bit nervous. A lot of these Collingwood guys, they know the past. They know how it's been before, and they've lived through disappointing times, all that. And now we've got to, we've had a good position, and we've moved into this spot where, it's a bit shaky, and everyone feels it, and the nerves do kick in, for us supporters. It's just how it is, We try and lift and scream and yell and get them going, but it's a lot easier to do that when there's something to cheer about. It's very hard for us as supporters sometimes. I mean, for any supporter, not just Collingwood, to dig in and find something to be happy about and to actually support when they need support. We're going to hold them up sometimes instead of them giving us the cheers. That's just, it is a bit of a reciprocal relationship we have with them, Yeah, we pay the money and all that sort of stuff. But it does go a little bit of both ways. We've got to pay them back by lifting them. And Fly talked about it in 2023 constantly, the 19th man, this and that. And there was in the finals, I can't remember who said it, but it was going around that they wanted us to do the chanting and all that sort of stuff when we needed it, when we needed a goal, not when we'd kicked one. It was like, and I remember against GWS in that prelim, we were down and the chant went up and we fought and it lifted them, and it does work. I mean, how do you get that message out to 50,000 fans at the ground? It's almost impossible. They just have to sort of, I mean, the cheer squad probably has to get it going because, yeah, it's been flat. I've noticed heaps of flatness.
Two things to that, Benny. I think number one is when things aren't going right offensively, which look, 2020, 2023, 2022, there were moments where we were being dominated, but you know what we were able to celebrate? We were able to celebrate the defensive acts, the intercept marks, the spoils, the tackles. That will get you up. When things aren't going your way, that gets you up. That wasn't there tonight. It probably wasn't there last week, Benny. If that doesn't happen, if there's not something, if they're not giving us an action to react to and celebrate, we're doomed. The other thing is, the only way to get the crowd up without a reaction on the field is to have songs to chant and be cohesive as a fan base. But that's just not that. It doesn't have that culture. We don't have the soccer culture where they'll be 5-6-0 down. They're still singing and they're cheering at every home game, keeping the energy up. We don't have that, which is why we're so dependent on what happens on the field.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. It's true across the board. I mean, you know what? I hate it, but it's good for them. Brisbane have their songs after a goal and they roll with it. Last week, they didn't have it playing and they were singing it anyway.
A cappella, mate.
It was
I
great for
heard it.
them. Yeah.
Yep. I remember it was the Zach Bailey one.
Yeah, they were singing that Sweet Caroline and all that. Oh, no, it was that one, wasn't it? That Caroline was for Cam Rayner.
Yes. Yep. So that's another great way. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see some sort of pre-game. But anyways, maybe we're picking at what's the saying there, Betty? Picking at what? We're picking at what?
We're chasing 1% right now. Like when the boys have probably got 20% left on the table that they can give.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, good chat, mate. And I'll continue on watching the show. Hopefully everyone else gets a good vent out of it. And we move on to next week and miracles happen, mate. I remember, 2002, we went to Port Adelaide when they finished top of the ladder and we won that qualifying final when we had no right to, and we were a nothing team. So anything's possible. Look, it is what it is.
We're here tonight and we're here tomorrow and the next. We'll soldier up, my friend. Thanks for jumping on, Benny.
Yeah, no problems, brothers. See you later.
See you, mate. Pie's not done. I like that. Pie's not done. Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me, Anthony?
Yeah, mate. How are you?
Good, mate. Good. Thanks for taking my my video call.
That's okay. Anytime.
Yeah, look, just want to touch on some points. Obviously, you went to the game tonight. How did you feel, and how was the crowd around you when Hal went down?
Flat,
like a deflated
flat.
sort of feeling.
Oh yeah, that's a brother out there, man. That's a brother out there, out cold. Like that hurts. That hurts, and that transcends beyond the footy field. That's like, oh man, that guy is like 30, whatever. He's 33. He wants to play on. Does that throw a spanner in the works? I don't think he's ever had much concussion history. I'm like, man, that hurts.
Yeah. I agree. I think basically Craig McRae and the boys had a plan, and I don't think the coaches planned for how to get injured in the first minute and 30 seconds of the game, and kind of basically deflated the whole Pies, all of his teammates. So, which was a bit disappointing, but yeah, it's not good.
But the Pies are not done yet, right?
We're not done. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's not good, but we're not done. Another
Yeah.
point I want to touch on, Jamie Elliott with his pay me hands. I don't know. Did you see that video clip last week?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
actually, I made a thumbnail of it. I asked the chat, and I think I got a comment after. Apparently, it's actually just a reference to a documentary that's been posted on Netflix. Apparently.
Right. Right. Okay. Because some people can take it the wrong way, and his performance probably in the last couple of weeks, it's like, hang on, is that a bit? That's not showing a bit. It's not showing humility. I mean, it's a bit disappointing, but like if it's got something to do with a documentary, then that's fair enough. That
Mm.
probably answers my point there. Another thing, got a question. Who would you get? You have to pick one. Who would you give the 2 years to, Jamie or Myercheck? You have to pick one.
Jamie Elliott.
Why?
Because I think we have Ben King in the back of our mind. I don't think we have a small forward on the market that we're necessarily looking for. Nor I think Jamie Elliott's so versatile. I think Brody Myercheck is versatile, but not as versatile as Jamie Elliott. Jamie Elliott has a clutch gene. His pressure's good. He's can mark. He can win the ground ball. He's actually pretty good at scoring around the stoppages. He's a threat there. I think Myercheck can be inconsistent at times. A great player, don't get me wrong. But
Yeah.
with Ben King in the back of our mind, and also Charlie West, who maybe can be a Cal Shadia or a Logan Morris, I think that's where I'd lean right now.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. Yeah, spot on. Couple of more points.
Mhm.
McRae keeps basically saying about we're learning from these mistakes, and I highly believe in him. I mean, if you look in his eyes closely, he would rather make these mistakes now, learn from them, and if we play a Hawthorn, if we play a Brisbane in the prelim or the first final, we can learn from these mistakes and utilize those tactics to win the games in the finals. Do you agree?
The runway is very short now, my friend. That's the problem. I
I know.
understand. Learn from the lessons, but these lessons we're learning, we might have to take them into 2026. That's a possibility.
Yeah,
However,
but
I will add,
yeah,
I
yeah,
do. There is a chance that we do learn from these lessons and we bounce back against Adelaide. Why? Because we have all this experience in the side. We're all complaining about, to some level, the lack of run effort, some of the older players tonight, but they can shove it right up those supporters and us as well, to an extent, to be fair. And they
yeah,
can say, hey, look at us. With our experience, we're able to bounce back quicker than other sides who are in the muds. We saw it last year. We did. I couldn't have watched a worse 4-game stretch than what we got against Geelong, Gold Coast, Hawthorn, Essendon towards the back end of the year. We
yeah,
were dog balls, mate. We were dog balls. We were horrible. But somehow, some way, we got a win against Carlton, and then we just built from there. We took it to Sydney. We should have beaten them. We lose by a point. They make the grand final. We beat Brisbane. They win the flag. So
yeah. I agree. And I've been watching your channel for a long time, so I've saved this last tidbit. Again, I don't know how to say it. I want to show respect to Bobby Hill and his family. I was at my local gym, and I worked with a gentleman at a retail store. I'm not going to mention because maybe he's probably watching, but I don't want to name names. But we had a nice chat when we were in the hydro pool, and we're discussing about how he was a volunteer at Collingwood. And not sure if this is true, but the reason why Bobby Hill is not playing and is down is apparently and it saddens my heart. He was unfaithful to his wife, and why he's missing training and why he's not playing with the group is, again, I don't know if this is true. Speculation. Let's call it speculation for the time being. He's going to interstate to see his kids, and Collingwood Football Club are allowing him of that due to mental health reasons of not seeing his kids. So every time he has an opportunity to see his kids, he doesn't train. So again, it's not. I'm saying that's speculation. So, but that's what I've heard. So to all the fans out there, I believe highly that Bobby's not playing because of mental health issues with his immediate family. I just want to put that out there for everybody. So we wish Bobby well, and we put our arms around him and wish him luck. What he's going through. So yeah, I just want to state that.
All good. Look,
All right.
at the very least, not having Bobby on the field is adding to the problems. It's unfortunate. Whether it's illness, whether it's personal reasons and family, and it's tough. And yeah, it just doesn't make the circumstances any easier for the side because he's such a great player. But charity starts at home, a wise man once said. So let it be.
Correct. Yeah. Well, all good. Well, thanks very much, Anthony. I hope everybody just understands and has a bit of sort of empathy and understanding of what's happening as well.
Thanks for jumping on, mate. I appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks, Ann. Good night, mate. Cheers.
See you, mate. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Benny, thanks for the 5, brother. Let me highlight this. Let me get this on the stage. Crows is an opportunity. Back to the wall for real. They can gather, rally together, get it done. We have before, or we fail, and the season is a mystery. If we said that the Hawthorn game was do or die for our top 2 hopes, this one is do or die for our top 4. It's a scary predicament looking at what could transpire over the next couple of weeks. Oh, mate. We were there. We were there, guys. We were there. Spaniard.
G'day.
Mr. Champion Data himself. What's going on?
Nothing much. Just went to a game. Enjoyed it. Every moment of it. It's a fantastic game.
Couldn't have been. Well, did you go to the Melbourne Storm?
Yeah, it would have been nice. Saw all the storm people. Might have to start getting into it. No. I'm actually somewhat positive. Not positive about the game itself, but like I have more of a happy thinking about finals and things like that coming through. But I think this game was the absolute recipe for failure. Like there was no way it couldn't have gone worse from the coaches and from just the way it started. Having first of all Bobby miss after being kind of a live wire for us when he came in the first part, then immediately going into a 5-day break, which is painful. And I wanted to mention something. I'm not sure if you questioned it one time. They say they were training harder before, and that was due to them knowing they can't train now because of the 5-day break and things like that. So clearly that's what we were doing before, but it meant that this 5-day break was painful. And then immediately seeing Howe go down, that I'm pretty sure that absolutely ruined our chances of that game, it going well for us. There was I actually wonder how many times a player that goes down with a serious injury where they're put in a neck brace. That's how bad every player saw him in a neck brace when they went to see him off. I wonder how many times that happens and the team goes on to win. It would be very, very low in my opinion. because it's a sight to see. And even at the very first quarter after that incident, there were times where there were hospital hand passes. Like I remember to Pendlebury, and he tried to hit it to side bottom over his head with a miracle on the boundary. I fully believe that was a bit of like I've seen my mate just go down. I've been given this handball that if I grab, I'm getting hit. Like it's subconscious. Like that sort of thing could have screwed up with the players pretty quickly. I'm not saying that's lasted the whole game, but instantly that might have been a lot of the things. But yeah, I think that game was just like, at the end of the day, it was not a game that we probably could win with the 5-day break and that incident. It was going to be tough. It was going to be really hard. Like we could have won it. Obviously, we're a good enough team. We have good enough players to win it. But like it was a recipe for disaster in the end for us. I think. So I was actually looking at the team, and I know I was listening to people speak about who should come in and out and things like that. To me, I imagine there's going to be 2 changes, obviously, for sure. Bobby and Bo will come in if they can. And that should be very helpful. I think a big issue, we have no smalls and we have no talls in the front line. And we had no talls because McStay had to play ruck back for a lot of that game. Man times we marked it and we looked forward and there was only Mychek in the forward line or Membry, which is a big issue. Membry should not be playing. Membry should be playing on the 3rd or 4th best key defender. Checkers, McStay, and Elliott should take the first 3. And that would free up Membry. But he was playing on the 2nd best or first. And we know that Hawthorn have quite good key defenders as well. So that's an extra step for specifically Hawthorn. But I was thinking, with people coming in, I imagine Bobby and Bo come in and it probably has to be Hyphen goes out just because he's not, we need a small. Schultz can't do it all, and Schultz isn't even the best small. There is. He's good pressure, but not like a good underneath his feet and getting those miracle kicks and things like that. And speed. He's not that. And I imagine Long or Titch come out as well because we're too midfield heavy with the team we have. And this is something that I'm going to get flamed for. I'm going to close the comments so I don't need to see this. Is bringing in the big Mason Cox a viable thing for us to do? And now I know. But the reason why I say this is because we look like we have no one forward, especially with Howe out. This is more of a Howe out situation as well. Like we need a shift to have a key forward at all times. And Darcy Cameron's not really doing it, and McStay isn't really doing it. And McStay's pretty slow when he's in ruck. He doesn't get forward at all. We need someone, if we have, and to that, when we have someone that can just knock it to ground, that is so much better, especially when we add in our small forwards. I mean, Elliott, no one can say that the Elliott-Cox connection isn't real. When they play together, Elliott just farms off Cox whenever the ball gets to ground. Because let's be honest, Cox isn't marking it 98% of the time. And that's exactly where we want it with all our pressure small forwards, with Bobby, Bo, Elliott, and Schultz. We want it on the ground. Too many times we're kicking it in and it's just getting marked because our forward mid connection isn't there. The amount of times that we've kicked it in, either our players are running backwards and want it really long and we kick it in short, or we kick it on top of Elliott's head. Yeah, I've not seen Elliott complain as much as he has this season, and throwing up his arms like, this ball's gone on top of me. Barras is sitting on me. Sicily is sitting on me. Like, what am I supposed to do here? Battle is on me. Like, I can't do anything. I'm too small for that. And only people that we can kick it to right now is Mychek and Elliott. Those are the only 2 markers we have, and they're both lead marks. They're not contested, like kick it on the head players. So we have no one to kick it into. Only McStay is there and maybe Darcy Cameron. But like I said, they're not there as often, especially with Howe down. We need a tall back ruck. Sorry. So we need someone to play sitting there more often. So I think the only thing is for this game, for the next game, if we do this, it would be Cox, Bobby, Bo for Howe, Hyphen, and Long or Titch at that point. And that would free up a lot of things. I think in our defense, the issue we have with Howe being out, and it's a really, really bad issue, is we don't struggle against the keys, like the really big key forwards. More so, I reckon we actually struggling with those medium key forwards, like Mychek or what Gunston is, or things. Someone that can lead really quickly, and that's what Howe would play on. So we had an issue where as soon as Howe went down, we had Frampton on that player, and clearly Frampton's too slow. Frampton's best against someone that sits down with him. He likes standing next to someone and they tussle, and he will win or he will knock it down. He's done that pretty well. He's not the quick player that we want. So then after a while, clearly it wasn't working. Frampton got a lot of goals against him from the lead. We put more on him. I remember looking at, I think it was the second or third quarter, I think it was. I looked at our back line and it was really far up the ground, the ball. It was in the middle of the ground. All their forwards were pretty pushed up besides one. Their key, or Gunston, was all the way in the goal square. And that dragged Moore down into the goal square. What is Moore? That's the worst position for Moore to be in. He's an intercept marker. He wants to go close to the ball where the ball is going to be kicked to. They were just dragging him as far away from any contest as possible because they know they don't want to kick it to Darcy Cameron or Darcy Moore. Those are the two people they don't want to kick it to. Get him that far down. So we're going to have an issue. And next week is going to be an issue because who's that going to be? Fogarty? Is that medium tall forward for them? I reckon that will be a struggle. So yeah, I think that's why we might need someone like Mason Cox. It pushes Darcy Cameron or McStay or even Cox himself more back at times, but allows us to have an extra toll there at least, because that is going to be an issue, especially with another forward line with 4 keys in it, which we're going to have to deal with. Because I don't know who we can play, Maynard or Quaynor again. I mean, we've seen Quaynor and Jeremy Cameron and things, so like I'm fine with trusting those players to do that, but I don't think we want to go there because we clearly haven't won it. We put Dean in over Maynard or things when I thought Dean might come out and we just play Maynard and hope that he does it. So
yeah,
don't know. I know the Cox thing is going to throw. People won't be happy with it.
No, you'd be surprised. Even before you brought up Mason Cox's name, there's a lot of people saying maybe it's time to consider Mason Cox. And I think it was in the pregame show or yesterday where we spoke about Mason Cox's magnet. And we said Mason Cox at his best, at his 2023, late 2024, if that's the version of Mason Cox we get, it's the Mason Cox we want. But then the other part to it is our connection, our synergy, our chains going into the forward line aren't there. If we go back and watch that first half or the first quarter, kicks just slightly off where we had, like I was behind the goals on level 4, our offensive end in that first quarter. I'm not sure where you were, but so many times like we had players out and we just like Houston missing kicks going inside 50, Nick Dacos missing kicks. There'd be a couple more. So there's that connection piece as well, which is sort of absent in that regard. We can try it. It's just it comes back to the conversation of how many experiments can we take going into the next 2 games? And there's 2 ways to go about it. You can be Matthew, who was here before, who might be in the chat now. You can go, you know what, fuck it, balls to the wall. Let's go. Let's go Ned Long out, Tom Mitchell out, Hoskin Elliott out. Let's make 4 or 5 changes. Let's get Rowan Steele in. Like there is that. I just think, all right, now that's like going all in on red. Like I think we still like guys. We're still a chance to be top 4. We're still going to play finals. We can't play the kids. Like we can't be using that card right just yet. You know.
Yeah, to be honest, I agree with the experiment thing, but is Mason Cox less an experiment than anyone else? At least when you look up, when McStay marks it on the wing or gets his free kick on the wing, when he looks up, there is someone tall that will get the ball to ground. And we can tell him to just do that. And we know he'll be beaten at points. We know he'll get 3 touches and maybe 1 mark for the game. But is the reliability of at least having someone there to kick it too tall when we can't work our way through it? Clearly our kicking's off when we try and do the sharp kicks or whatever. Is it better than when Houston does take that kick, he's trying to go for some crazy play, be like, okay, Houston, you're down on form or confidence. If there's nothing, at least kick it to Cox and kick it in front of him slightly. That's all we want. And he won't mark it. He doesn't matter if he doesn't mark it or not. At least we'll have Elliot, Bo, Bobby sitting there. And it is an experiment, obviously, because we haven't done it as much this year, but it's something more reliable than I don't think we should bring in the kids. I'm confident in the team being like a finals team. We have a team that I believe when it comes to finals times, we have the stars, we have people that will turn up for those games. And we haven't shown it, to be fair. We haven't shown it in these big games. And it feels like there's less spark in the team, less confidence in the team. It's like we've all seen the documentary in 2023. And obviously we don't see what's coming in on we don't see what's in the inside of the team. But the amount of energy every game and the things and all that spark around it, it's not showing on the field right now like it did in 2023. There's no hype around a single play and things. Maybe we need Markov in and we tell Markov, you don't need to go near the ball. Just be a cheerleader on the side. We give him 2 pom-poms and he can walk around. Whenever a player does anything nice, he just goes crazy because that is what sparked us a lot of times. I mean, we had a spark with Ginnivan like back then. And I think Bobby will do that for us this year. When Ginnivan came on in 2023, the crowd would erupt, people would erupt, and would have that energy and things like that. And I think Bobby does that when he does his play, when he does his mark, his specky or things like that. We might have that spark. It might push us. Something I found interesting was Sydney went through the exact same run that we've just gone through last year. They beat North Melbourne. They had a 5-game lose streak, or so 5 games they lost. They beat North Melbourne. We beat Richmond. And then they got close losses for everyone. They lost to Brisbane by 20 points. And then they got absolutely slaughtered by Port Adelaide by 112 points, if you remember that game. And everyone was like, this team is not a top team. They're sitting on top, but they are not. They've lost to 100 by 112 to Port.
Build me up, Spaniard. Build me up. How many did they win any games going into the final series?
They did. I think they won. Oh, they would have won the 2
They
after.
beat us.
They
beat us.
Let me get it up. Let's be happy about what's just about to happen to us.
Because I brought up Geelong last year because I was talking about the possibilities that the way this season could potentially end. I was talking about it could end the way we did last year, except play finals and going with good form. We could go in like Carlton, who stumbled over the finish line last year and just completely capitulate. Or I was talking about Geelong 2024 as well, potentially, but slightly different timelines. But this Sydney one sounds a lot more familiar. So tell me, what have you got?
The Sydney one is definitely the most familiar. They lost to pretty good teams the whole time, just by slight margins. They beat North, like I said. And then afterwards, after they got absolutely slaughtered, they went and beat us by 3 points, which was a close game, but they won it. And then they started winning again. They smashed Essendon and they smashed Adelaide. Decent margins. So we're going to have less games to do with that. We'll have 2 instead of 3, but we have better players, clearly. And I don't know. I actually have faith in the team that even if we don't beat Adelaide, I still have faith as long as we beat Melbourne. If we don't beat Melbourne, then it's going to be a lot harder to come back into the final series. But I would have confidence in Craig McRae and just the way we're going to regain form and things like that. It is a hope scenario, like you said, like you were saying before. But I do have a lot more faith. I'm not sitting here like, oh, it's doomed. Like, we are not going to come back from this ever. But I am pretty happy. I'm more confident than I am sad about it. Getting a top 4 would be nice, obviously. That would be what we need. But I think if we get 5th, there'd be like 1-2 words on the whiteboard. If we get 5th, the first final series, it would be the Brisbane Lions. And we will look at what Brisbane did and they will push and do the exact same thing Brisbane did because we know that we have the players to do it. It's just regaining that confidence and energy back that it doesn't show on the field at all, that they have that same like spark around it. And I do think we were going to have it, just how getting injured really screwed that up for us. Actually, one last thing. This is the only thing I'll say. The Howe situation, I think it's an absolute flaw of the system and what it's been pushing If you rewatch that scenario, I don't think and the Hawthorn play was in the wrong. I don't think Howe was in the wrong. But when Howe got that ball, he did not protect himself. He saw Newcombe coming at him, but he did not protect himself. He didn't lift his shoulder like they probably would have used to. He grabbed the ball and let it come. And you saw, he saw him and just let him get hit. And that whiplash, he flopped. If a player braced for that contact, you would not flop like that, no matter who's hitting you. He just fell over and it hit his head, or he clashed heads or whatever. And in a different world where we didn't have the protecting the player that got pushed so hard, we'd have him brace like the May situation. In fact, exactly like the May situation, except Howe would have got the ball first. He would have braced. He would have lifted his shoulder to protect himself. Newcombe would have knocked himself out, most likely. But Howe wouldn't be out right now. And I think that is unfair that we're telling players to not protect yourself to protect another player. I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me, because I fully believe if Howe braced for that contact, he wouldn't be out cold at all. He would have lifted his shoulder and he wouldn't have been hit. I don't know if I.
So you're saying,
that.
Just to clarify, you're saying that if Howe tried to protect himself with the bump of his own shoulder, he would be fine. But because he was probably scared that he didn't want to have any repercussions on the encounter with Newcombe, that would end up in a suspension for Howe. In the end, it's gone the other way. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. The fact that he didn't choose to brace himself in that moment, which is what we've been preaching. Don't brace for impact, or don't go in if you know you're going to think. Don't lift your shoulder or things like that. Ended up making it worse for him, and I don't see how that's protecting the player at all. Like I don't get that idea, because that is a clear example. Rewatch it slowly. Any other player, any other time would have lifted once he got the ball, turned and lifted his shoulder. He didn't. He just ran straight into him. He did a little flinch just before, but it was too late. Newcombe was on him.
I haven't watched it back yet, but and I see where you're coming from. But then where we're at now is, does Newcombe have a responsibility to pull up as well? Is there any talks of Newcombe potentially being suspended?
I don't think so. I didn't. From what I heard and from what I saw from the comments, it's like from the Instagram repost of it on Fox. It sounded like the commentary team weren't thinking it was a suspension or anything, but it's the same thing. It's the same scenario as Stephen May. Did Stephen May get off in the end for his hit, or did he get suspended? I can't remember.
Think so. I don't think so.
Because it's the same scenario, except if the ball had bounced to Stephen May. So the ball bounced back to him, and then Stephen May braced, so he hit the player with the ball. But it would have been different. Would it be different if Howe had the ball first and braced? Because he had the ball first. Do you suspend?
We'll see that unfold as well. I'll have to watch it back, and
sure.
I'm sure it'll be a talking point at some point throughout the week. Spaniard, thanks for jumping on, man. I think it's the first time you've jumped on to the post game, eh?
It is my first time.
Wow. Welcome. Appreciate you.
Yeah. No, cheers for having me.
Not in the best circumstances, but we'll take it, huh?
No, I'll come on for the next wins for Adelaide and Melbourne.
That's it. 2 from 2 now, man.
Easy.
All right.
Cheers. Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye. Tyler. Oh, hold on, Tyler. 1 second. Sorry. 1 second. Benny with the 5 gifted memberships in the chat. Thanks to Benny for that, and welcome to those 5 who were nominated to grace the Pies Footy membership for a month. So I appreciate you, Ben, and welcome to those who now have a membership next to their name. Tyler.
Hey, Anthony.
Oh, you sound so sad, bro, compared to when you came on for the pre-game show.
Do you remember the pre-game show we were talking about what would happen if it was a 4-point win or loss either way?
Mm-hmm.
Those were the good days. There was
we'll just take a win. We'll just take a win.
Just
I don't care
win.
how it gets done.
I'll go back 2 days and I'll take any win. I don't care if we were down or up 70 points and we win by 1 at this stage. So, how are you feeling, right now about the season?
I'm worried. I know that tomorrow we go again, and maybe it's easier for me to reboot because it's my responsibility to get the shows going, and the shows after tomorrow, after the fan takeaways, it does really lean into the upcoming fixture. So that it makes it a bit easier for me, but hopefully that also makes it easier for you guys. So that's my main concern. That's my main focus. And I'm sure everything else will play out the way it needs to play out. It's at the end of the day, it's out of our control now. It's in the players' hands, and it's out of our control, but it's still in their control to maintain top 4 position.
Are you optimistic, or
Yeah,
do you want
of
to be
course.
optimistic?
I'm not. Am I being delusional? No, I think we can. I have hope that we can beat Adelaide. Did we just lose by 70 points against Hawthorn? Yes, I get that. People are going to say you're an idiot. You're delusional. But tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to say, fuck. We go all right against Adelaide. We go very well in Adelaide. We'll get Bo back. We'll get Bobby back. We'll have McStay in the back line from the start. Frampton will be better for it after playing his first game back at AFL level. Maybe Darcy Moore starts to play better. Maybe Dan Houston starts to play better. Maybe Coxie comes in. Do I hinge it on Coxie? Probably not. I take that back. But Nick has been a little bit quiet in the last 2 weeks, so maybe we get something back from Nick. There's Geordie's taking positive strides. Jamie Elliott's due for a big game. Like, yeah, I'm gonna find some ways to be optimistic.
Because I think listening to everyone like this hour and a half, I'm not going to be bitter. That's gone. So we look at the positives now, and maybe this loss, since we've lost the cushioning, is going to force us. We go in as underdogs, so which means we don't have much to lose, which means we might play better because we've got nothing to lose. Like, our season's on the line now. Like, it's truly on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we don't win top 4 out, we might even finish 7th, 8th, on percentage. Results going, the ways that it goes. But then just two questions here, and I'll let everyone else jump in. What would you consider this season to be minimum standards for you to see it as a success?
Well,
just because I'm sure we had different expectations a month ago.
Yeah, if we want to go back 4 weeks ago and to where we are now, the expectation is the same as 4 weeks ago.
Do you think?
Yeah, no. I mean, if we don't go on and win a flag, it will be seen as a season where we go, fuck, where did it all go wrong?
So then, do we still have the expectation that right now, grand final, or like premiership or grand final, is still the minimum?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I stand by that. I stand by that.
Yeah. I think to your earlier point, you asked a question. I'm not sure if it was to Maddie or to Pies Not Done, about our wins earlier in the year, whether we were playing top 8 opponents, but at their weakest.
Mm.
And I think that that's true because, when we played the Bulldogs, they were without the Bond. When we played Brisbane, they were going off a 5-day turnaround. We go from there. But I think the biggest mistake that Fly made, and this is a coaching issue, it's a hindsight issue as well, but it's more coaching, that we shouldn't have got cocky and overconfident during our June run, because there were a lot of flaws in our game then as well that we should have seen. Instead, it feels like we just saw the wins and we're just like, oh, we're going to bank this win and full steam ahead, when there were problems in our game as well then. And it seems like those problems have come to fruition now, where it's like, whoa, how can we stop it?
Mm.
Like, that's the thing where I think that there was this false confidence of, we're 10 points ahead, but we're not 10 points better.
It felt like we were. I think the biggest learning, which we might not be able to fully grasp until next year, is, and I've still got my eyes on the flag this year, but our biggest learning might be how on earth do you set benchmarks when you're 10 points clear? How do you keep the motivation?
Yeah. I think to your point there, I think mentioning that 14 wins in public was the wrong benchmark to set for us because it set the benchmark for every other club. It was basically like setting a target. It's like, hey, this is what you've got to do to beat us, and they're beating us. Like that. That's
They're peaking
like
at the right time. We're a little bit off, and more than a little bit off, and we've got to find a way to reboot. Simple. It's that's the reality.
It is. Yeah, I do agree with you that we should be more positive than negative. I think now that time has gone on, Hawks played well. I think there's not much that we could have done after Hal went. We have to cop that. We have to accept that. The media is going to run right over us the next week, and maybe that's also deserved. We should just grow thick skin and just be like, yep, well played. Tomorrow's another day. We can go again, because the funny thing is that every other team somehow still has that respect for us, where they're still fearful of us. Like, Adelaide fans are not confident going next week. Like, they believe that they can win. They don't believe it's a certainty. So I think we need to use that momentum that other teams have with us against them. But instead of having that cushion, we just got to do it 4 wins in a row, 5 wins in a row. God forbid, 6 wins in a row. If somehow we fall out of the top 4. So it's possible. It's going to be difficult, but that's the position that we find ourselves in.
Time will tell, man. Time will tell, Tyler. Time will tell.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. Man. Thanks for the time.
Thanks for jumping on. Let's put the head on the pillow and we go again tomorrow.
I'm sure we're going to feel different tomorrow. We'll have a different outlook tomorrow, and then we go from there. But let's hope.
I'll feel better. On man. I
grand final day when we're holding the cup.
No, I keep looking at the day. It's Friday. It's Thursday night, Friday morning. We don't play till next Saturday. It's shit. It's shit.
Yeah.
Right now.
We all got to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
Thanks, man.
All right. Bye.
See ya. Greatness.
Hey, what's going on?
Getting by.
Yeah, definitely a game on tonight. Yeah, don't know where to go with it, to be honest.
Have a crack. Have a dig. What have you got?
Yeah, I mean, normally I'm the one to sort of be a bit positive and sort of look at the facts and stuff. And I mean, I did hear your last comments about some of the potential ends, and I mean that is true. We do have those. I think because this game lined up so well in terms of what 23 was, it sort of made like sense to where you sort of just believed it, and it's this is in terms of like a roller coaster ride. Okay, we've already been on this ride before. We just have to enjoy the ride, sort of thing. And it was one thing to lose to Hawthorn, but to lose to Hawthorn in this way, it was just a real like. I don't even know if it was a slap in the face, but it was just like, and I'm sure there were some players that put in the effort and stuff, but it just felt like that we really, because it just really felt like we just gave no effort. It just really did. Obviously, Howe went down within the first 80 seconds, which again, understandably, would obviously deflate a lot of the guys. If you go back and watch like the replay tomorrow, I found it very interesting when Howe went down. I think there was a play about 30 seconds after it where I think Penderbury was in the same sort of situation. And normally you would think that, someone would like tackle one of the Hawthorn players, but he actually hip and shouldered the player. and it was like really soon after the house situation, and I sort of that was one of those things where I sort of looked at that one and sort of thought, okay, maybe like the players are a lot more sort of affected by how going down, because I think I've spoken about how important he is to our system and structure. Obviously, the players will know it too. It just sort of I don't know, for a lack of a better term, it just sort of set the tone of this. It went from being, you know, early on, it's like, okay, here we go, we have some hope. Let's try and win this game, build some momentum. And then once Howe went down, it just turned to a funeral like real quick. So obviously we should qualify for finals because we're in a position where we shouldn't miss finals at all. Obviously it'll depend on where we do finish. But yeah, I'm just sort of I don't know, I'm sort of just at a loss in terms of like
We're rattled,
what
mate. We're
is
rattled. We're
like what
rattled.
is our season now? Like what is our season now? Are we pretenders? Are we contenders? Are we making up the numbers? Like there's no definitive answer, because as much as we were so good, for the first however many rounds it was, 15, 16 rounds, um, you can make the same argument, well, for our last like 6 weeks, we've only won one game, or however many weeks it's been. So it's really sort of hard to sort of like pinpoint which Collingwood are we? Are we the Collingwood of the last 6 weeks, or are we
Hmm.
the Collingwood of the first 16 weeks? But we're just having a bit of a bad patch at the moment. It's sort of hard to tell. Yeah.
We'll find out next week, man. And that's the only that's the last chance. That's what it's
Yeah.
come down to.
Yeah. 'Cause I mean, yeah, we've got 9 days till Adelaide.
Thanks for reminding me, Sean. Thanks for that.
No, but I'm saying that in terms of like, in terms of the players will have no excuses to be fresh. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just sort of I'm in a state of shock, I guess, if anything, because yeah, well, at least like I'll speak on my side of things. Like I went in with a lot of hope, a lot of this is the night to kick off the run that builds the momentum going into finals. And yeah, I think it was just the lack of effort that what did it the most. Because I think we can all tolerate losses. You know, you lose by a couple goals and you just go, yep, we just got beaten by a better side. But I don't even know what the margin was, but I'm assuming it was over 10 goals.
I don't know, man. I was just staring at the sky for the last 30 minutes of the game at the G.
Yeah, I mean that's literally what it's been like for like the last from halftime till now. That's basically what it's just been like, just questioning life, questioning like what is life, in a football context, and yeah, what do we do? Because yeah, even like going forward, trying to hit targets and stuff, like we're still trying to enter our forward 50 by
Mm.
kicking it long, when we have guys that are not proven, contested mark type of players. I mean, I know there's been a few people that have mentioned to bring Cox in. Still not a fan of that. I would even just just for a bit of to boost the team morale. personally, I mean, I'll still say that I still want Steen to have a game. You know, even if you just stick him as a full forward, just have him as that deep forward that chops out as like a backup ruck every now and then. If he kicks a goal or two, you know, you can only imagine how much the guys will be around him and stuff. And who knows, maybe that's the kick that we need to kick us into overdrive in a sense.
You know, Greatness, I had an eye on the huddle between every goal conceded in the back line. And I just wanted to see what's the reaction amongst the players. And it's a lot of caress and love and care and all that stuff, but where is the why can't we have a bit of grit and cunt about that huddle between goals? Why can't Braden Maynard just grab the boys by the collar and just say this isn't good enough? Like, where is that? Where is that gone in our game? Like, you've heard about the way Adam Kingsley operates at times. You see Stephen May, Premiership player, giving it to the lads. I'm not saying, look, I'm not. Maybe I sound bitter because when we're winning, we're not talking about this. But you can't tell me you can't tell me we haven't questioned the way we go about things. Sometimes we're a bit too submissive, we're a bit too docile, we're a bit too, you know, easygoing with it all. Where is that? Put the foot down, draw the line in the sand. I feel like we lack that, and I don't think we're going to get that. I'm not delusional in thinking it's going to change after 1 week. We have a certain way that we go about it with this team, with the captain in charge, with the coach who leads from the front. That's what it is. But yeah, it was my experience playing sport and seeing the way other teams operate. I just, maybe it'd be nice to rebalance, but probably not right now. A change in leadership would need to happen. If Braden Maynard's the captain, things would change. But I just feel like right now, the way we protect each other, it's just different in what we'd see if someone else was the captain, and different type of leadership group, I suppose.
Yeah, and I guess that's what happens when, you know, you've built a culture, you've enabled the behaviors. I guess this is the result for, you know, for the better, for the worse. You know, I mean, every club has their culture, every club has their ways that they go about things. And, you know, with all that comes, because what's the saying? That every action will have a reaction. So it's when it comes to, yeah, I mean, even like I think even Five deserves a bit of criticism his way too. With the way that he's been going about things of late. I also sort of found it very. I don't even know what the right word is, but interesting is the way, or is the word I'll use. Is that during the week, he was, wearing all the merchandise for Cyborg's 350th. But then, like, at no point, like, throughout the game did I see him show, you know, anything that was outside of, like, showing a smile, basically, or, like, laughing and having a good time. And I don't know if that's, like, just me being, like, old-fashioned and stuff, but to me, like, there's certain things that certain standards that you have to do.
Greatness, we've lost you, brother. Greatness, I'm going to have to let you go, my friend. Thank you for jumping on.
Hey,
Kev.
mate. Fuck me, bro. Fuck me. I was in the same, like, behind the goals near the behind post, and all
I
I
saw you,
seen
mate.
is.
I saw you from afar, just quietly.
Oh, didn't even see you, mate. I was too busy vlogging the game, but just quietly. No, I think definitely the confidence that when Howe went down, it did affect the boys a little bit. But sometimes you need to get that out of your mind and go, okay, guys, we still got a work to do. Like we still got to, do it. Let's do this for Howe. Yes, we'll be undermanned in defence, but let's just try and get the job done for him. And look, to be honest, the first quarter, at least we didn't let the opposition kick 5 goals, but just the ease that Hawthorn moved the ball. How easy was it? Like, there was lack of pressure, mate. It really was.
Look, when Hawthorn are up and going, that's their trademark, their ball movement, their slickness by foot, and they absolutely teared us up, and that's that, unfortunately. And then you add in, Kev, what happened, how we didn't show up tonight, tie that in with how on Hawthorn were. It's a recipe for disaster, man.
It is. No, it is. And look, I have hope. I still think somehow we'll beat Adelaide because we played well against them. Like, I don't know why we just managed to beat Adelaide, Melbourne, but even so, like, to lose like that, and I tend to disagree with when we beat, like, the Hawthorns, the Melbournes, and these sorts of teams. I think it's purely because we played well against those teams early on in the season because everyone's more fresh. When you get to the end of the season, I think everyone will have a down period. Um, I know that in 2023 we lost 3 of the last 4 games, and I think we only beat Geelong and Essendon, and that was it to play in the top 4. Then we went on to win the flag. Even Brisbane did it. Melbourne did it during that period as well. So, and you tend to get written off a little bit. So I think with that, we need to win next week just to really make sure that we don't get out of top 4 contention. But something needs to give. I've spoken to a gentleman behind me and I said, look, I like the changes, but would have preferred Mason Cox down there. He is a player that he can actually give us a target up forward. He can go back and take a mark in defence. Hawthorn have got like 3 or 4 tall defenders or even tall forwards, and we just could not match them. I reckon had Hal did not get knocked out, I think it probably would have made a little bit of a difference, maybe, but no, I just think the way that we played tonight, it was pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And maybe Hawthorn have got a number as well. Like, we're 3 wins and 3 losses under 5. So, yeah, maybe Hawthorn are just a team that just have our measures no matter what we do. So, yeah, look, I'm disappointed. I'm going to cop it. I'll take it. Yeah. But, mate, what can you say, mate? I'm fucking pissed. Stay there till the end. I could have left,
End, brother.
but I stayed until the end.
Have to, man. Have to.
The only way that you learn from these losses. You can't just be there when you win and not be there when you lose. You gotta go through the ups and downs. So
Suffering, sometimes you have to endure the suffering.
you do, even though you hate it. Or one guy said to me, it could be worse, at least it could be calm. And say, yeah, but this one actually does hurt a little bit more because it's Hawthorn. So
there's no good without the bad, my friend. So endure the suffering, and it's a lot more sweeter when you reach the cream of the crop after all that adversity and suffering. You gotta soak in the suffer a little bit and just sit in it for a bit, let it suck. And
You do.
whether it's a flag at the end of this year or next year or the year after, at some point, we'll look back at these times and go, yep, cool. It was all worth it in the end. We're sitting through this game at the G, knowing the game was over at halftime, pretty much. That builds
Oh, it
character.
gave us a bit of hope after halftime. I thought maybe the third quarter we could get on the run. But just before I do let you go, the last 3 times, I know you guys haven't seen the stat that when West Coast have been bottom of the ladder, we've won the flag twice of those. And I know the Hawthorn game I was more angry in 2023 because the way that we played and yeah, we're going through the patch, but I, I think I'm more angry in this game, and I hope that we can win the flag. If we somehow manage to pull it off, and I know Jason Horn said on SEN, just calm down a little bit. Yes, Collingwood going through the patches, and he said, look, it might be panic stations had released the Hawthorn, and look, it might be, but I just feel like every team will go through the patches of form. When we play Fremantle in Perth, we were resting players. We had no right to win that game. When we played against, Hawthorn and that, not many people would have thought that we would win by the way that we did. And I think sometimes throughout the season, it's a longer season. You're going to have performances like this. So, at least this is, I say, apart from the opening round, I think this is the worst game that we've played because we've gone smacked and smack badly in playing 4 quarters. So maybe that's something that we need to work on during the week. Maybe we need to start having that right mindset of, okay, well, let's just help each other. So let's just play as a team. So yeah, look, I'm disappointed. I'll do whatever, but yeah, it's. I just hope that that we win because I want to brag. I so want to brag badly.
Man, another thing that's come to mind, Kev, is we're finally gonna go into a game next week where we're no longer the hunted. We're going to be hunting them. The pressure's on Adelaide. Yes, the pressure's on us to a certain degree as well. Of course, I understand that, but Adelaide will feel the heat. They're going to feel the heat, mate. They're going to be all right. Hold on, we should be beating Collingwood, who just lost by 70 points against Hawthorn at the G. Let's see how the pressure's when it's mounted on them.
Also, too, yeah, like I tend to agree. Also, too, like speaking about this at work today, I said, look, the way that Geelong's had an easy run going into finals as well, if you're going to smack teams by 60, 70, 80 points, especially the weaker teams, you're not that match hardened to play against the good teams. Even like with Adelaide, yes, they beat Hawthorn at home, but having said that, they're playing West Coast. West Coast will be an easy game. At least with us, we're coming off a rebound where generally teams that do get smacked, they tend to respond. Brisbane did it. Gold Coast have done it as well this year. We've responded being 40 points down as well. Teams are going to respond, and I hope that this gives them the kick in the guts that we need to feel that hunger. I don't know if we've lost that hunger or not, but it's something that it needs to be mentioned. We need to be hungry. We need to maintain that. And even if we make a few changes, like play Ed Allen or something like that. So, we'll have to wait and see. There'll be a few changes next week. I hope Howe's alright. I feel sorry for him. I really do. But unfortunately, as well, you got to protect yourself. They don't get trained to protect themselves. Eddie said it numerous times. There's other people in the media that said it. You must protect yourself to avoid getting hit. The more you do that, the more better you can look out for yourself. You know, but they don't teach that anymore. So.
Kev, down but not out. Thanks for jumping on, my friend.
Cheers, man. Always got to show up when we win, always, mate. We got each other.
Yes, sir. See you, Kev.
See you, mate. Good night.
Good night, mate. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want some more post-game action, I've got Mick Sucker's link here, Chronicles. The link is there. He's going to go live, so he'll do some fan cams there as well. So if you want to cry into the night, continue crying into the night, then there's a link there in the chat. Thank you all for sticking around. I think we vented, and now we slowly look ahead to the Adelaide game, which is still a while away, which hurts, but we'll be right, guys. It is what it is. Opportunity to bounce back. Simple as. Take care, guys. Hope you all have a good sleep. And if you're going to watch Mick, say g'day for me. There he is, Mick there. All right. Take care, guys. Go Pies.